Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a f***ing ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Bay.
Today is March 14th, 2021. How about them apples? Guess what, baby? The GOAT is back.
We're running it back.
I can't get the ring to focus.
I know, it's too.
We're getting another one of these. We're getting another one.
Yes.
That is the Super Bowl ring. In case you're not familiar with it. Pretty neat. It's got the little Raymond James Stadium inside of it. Love it. All right. Yeah. Big news. Tom Brady is back. And
back,
he has
baby.
unretired. I'm sure everybody's heard about it by now, but we're here to celebrate it and let you know how great it is to be a Buccaneers fan today.
Oh my gosh. You know, it's just been a real crap year for us. And there was some good news.
Yeah, it's like the first good news we've had all year.
Mm-hmm.
What is up with that?
You know, sometimes, I don't know, just happens like that. You flip a lot of tails.
Yep. Yeah, I have to excuse the video quality. Well, for some reason, her video quality is not that good, and we don't have time to figure it out because we want to get this podcast out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. Tom Brady's back. Now, I had seen on the Pat McAfee. I'll never be able to say it right.
Me neither.
I can't even say Jamal Dean's name right.
I know. And now that I know that I've said it wrong for a port, I can't remember which one's the right one.
Yeah. He had a picture of Tom Brady in the stands watching Ronaldo play at Manchester United Sunday. And I think he was spot on. I think Tom Brady's sitting in the stands and he goes, you know, he's surrounded by all these English hooligans. You know, everybody's all drunk, having a good time. Ronaldo goes out and scores 3 goals, apparently. And the crowd's going crazy. Yeah, he was benched last week.
What is that about?
Don't know. Don't follow soccer.
I know, me neither.
Used to, but don't follow it anymore. And, you know, he's sitting there and he's seeing the crowd just go crazy. And there's a picture of him and he's just sitting there and he's kind of looking at whoever's taking the picture. And his face, I mean, you could read anything you wanted to his face, but it was kind of like a forced smile. You could just kind of feel like him going, yeah, that's supposed to be me out there. Mm-hmm. I am the man in the arena. I am not cut out to watch other people do great stuff. You had said before we got on here that Jason Light said that they had been in talks for a couple days, right?
Yeah.
Before this all came out.
I think so. I think from his release that he put out. Let me see if I can pull it up. And so that would make a lot of sense, I think, from the perspective of knowing that we got Ryan Jensen back. Immediately.
Like 3 hours after Tom Brady announced his saying Ryan Jensen signed his deal to stay here.
Yeah. So, and then Leonard Fournette had deleted that post on Instagram about saying goodbye to the Buccaneers. So that was pretty funny.
This changes everything. It just
came out of nowhere.
It sure did. This guy, he had 40 days. Wasn't that the temptation of Christ? 40 days?
Yeah, that's
that's what happened, man. The devil got hold of him and was like, here, I'll give you the world if you just retire from football. And he was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
40 days later, he's coming out of the woods going, nope. I'm going to dominate still. And you know, he does. He's in great health. I mean, immaculate health. He didn't have any health issues. He had that shoulder issue the year before last, which didn't seem to bother him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it obviously bothered him, but it didn't bother him on the stat sheet anyhow. Yeah, and then last year, good health. He's still zipping the ball downfield.
He had the knee that he didn't tell anybody about, the MCL.
Yeah, that was a couple
2 years ago. Yeah.
That's what I meant. What did I say, shoulder?
Yeah.
What was the shoulder thing? Didn't he have a shoulder thing?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay. Anyhow, the point being, he's in extremely good health for his age, and he's not beat up. He can still do it. I think he was just frustrated after that game. That's the only thing I can come up with. I mean, there's all kinds of speculation you could say, like, oh, this was he kind of got forced into it by outside people, maybe Giselle, his family, whatever. Maybe the talk about him being retired, he felt kind of obligated. But, I honestly think that last game just affected him so much. I was that way. We were just like, man, I'm tired of football.
Yeah. Couldn't even watch the Super Bowl? We're just like, ugh.
Yeah. It was boring.
Watched it, yeah.
And I think he was just like, I'm tired, I'm done. It was emotionally driven, I think. And you get some distance from it and you realize, hey, I'm still the GOAT.
Yeah, maybe
going out like that
wasn't the right decision. I know. Who talked him into that? I feel like he was getting it. Well, that's what his dad said. He had outside pressure to retire.
Yeah. Maybe his business partner. Who knows? I don't know if we'll ever know the true story behind all this. And we are jumping ahead of ourselves a little bit. We're doing this podcast a day after the announcement was made. And we're not even saying what it is here on the podcast, but it was Tom Brady's come out of retirement and he said he's going to play for the Buccaneers.
Yes.
So, Tara, that happened yesterday.
I know. Well, we did do a video on it yesterday, but didn't put it up on the podcast platform.
Yeah, we just did a quick video to put it up.
Quick one.
Breaking news. So I don't know if we'll ever know the true story about, what all transpired. There was all the rumors about him and Arians not getting along and him having issues with the offensive coordinator.
Leftwich.
I need to drink some coffee or something.
I know.
You don't know how much that stuff is true, how much it's just speculation and just people making stuff up out of thin air. So I don't know if we'll ever know. Now, it might come out years from now in a book he puts out or a video, or somebody will write a book and say stuff. We don't know how much of that'll be true, but we still don't know what happened to the 2011 Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying it since 2011. I want to know if somebody put a book out, I would pay $100 for that book to know. Yeah. Just find out what happened there. The total meltdown. Never seen anything like it. Just a total meltdown. And I talked about this a couple weeks ago about how sports are very speculative. It's generally all about the future. The only way sports looks back in the past, it seems like, is through stats.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like once a game is done, everybody's looking towards the next game. And there's not a whole lot of really sitting down and looking at what happened during the game and all this good stuff. And a narrative gets created that ends up being the story, and then everybody just moves on. 2011 Bucs, we still don't know what happened there. I mean, it was a total meltdown, staff, players, everything, and ended up costing a lot of people their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And we still don't have a clue. The closest we've got is that something happened on the airplane going to the Chicago game in London. That's the closest we've gotten. And also
perhaps involved a coach or two.
Right. Yeah. But you got to remember, Winslow Jr. was on that plane, and he had what we found out years later that, he had these sex problems and he was carrying around a sex doll with him.
Oh my God.
So it might have been that. Who knows? We'll never know. Maybe somebody will write a book one day. I swear I've been wanting to sit down and, do some serious journalism on that and call around to see if I could find out some stuff. But I'm saying all that to say we'll probably never know what happened with Brady, what the whole deal was.
I know. Even when he gets asked, and he's very good at marketing, and I suspect, he's got to address it it's got to be addressed. Yeah. So somebody's going to ask him in a press conference, probably on his podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe, they'll talk about it a little bit, but he's going to give a very caged, polished answer.
Yes. He's very good at that.
Yeah. So we might get a little tidbits. I think we're more likely to get something from like BA or Light more than anything.
Yeah, definitely BA. He'll let some stuff slip out.
Yeah, I think so too. He can't help himself.
Yeah, he don't do BSing, man. So, but whatever the reason was, I'm happy about it. I'm happy. It is so weird. And you talk about this all the time, how sports does this. Mm-hmm. Sports will have you down in the dumps, and then in a matter of seconds, you'll be at the top of the mountain. And that's how it was. Me and Molly were we spent a whole day on the couch yesterday watching movies and just having a day.
Why, Ralph?
A hangover. And so, I mean, we were just no life. We're just blah. And then I happened to be on the phone and I went, wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, is Brady coming back? And Molly was like, what? And I said, yes, no. I showed her the message. I said, he just posted this. And you were like, what? So we started looking around. I thought it was a joke at first. And then we started looking around. And sure enough, everybody was going crazy about it. What? And then next thing you know, me and Molly are like pacing up and down the house and talking and going outside and just all full of energy.
We ended up doing a video.
Yeah, we jumped on.
8 o'clock at night. I had no makeup on. I never do that. Y'all never see me without makeup. So it was important.
It did, like in a matter of like that. Our energy, our mood, everything changed. Sports is weird like that.
I know.
It's awesome.
And this is why I think sports are important. Like, with all the crap Ralph and I have going on right now in our lives, it's not been an easy year for us for reasons that we've explained and that we haven't explained. But there are various things that are going on, and it's just not been a great start to the year. And it's just one of those things. Sports give you purpose and drive and hope.
Hope's a big thing.
And they give you a distraction. And so I think they are important. I think we often underestimate the role that they serve. Yes.
And they do a lot. I mean, community bonding, sense of purpose, all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah.
And, the people out there, some of you are familiar with some of the issues that we went through, and we do appreciate your prayers and everything. We've had people reach out to us and let us know that they keep us in our thoughts, and we do appreciate that. But that's not that we're not here for that. But this is a uplifting podcast, man.
That's right.
We're not trying to. Hey, but it's not just us. It's the whole world right now. It just seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in the world. We're worried about nuclear wars, and we got viruses, and it just seems like there's not a whole lot of positivity in the world. Mm-hmm. And it's been weighing on us. I mean, we've been kind of down in the dumps, and sure enough, Tom Brady he lifted us out, man. We just been like giddy all day.
I know. Like, hey. Well, and then right after Ryan Jensen coming back, I mean, that's phenomenal news. It's a huge one. And would he have come back without Brady? I think the answer is no.
I think so too. Because he was offered big money. And what did he end up getting? 3 years, $35 million? That was Carlton Davis.
3 years, $39 million, I think, which is what Cincinnati was rumored to pay him offer. So
we matched.
I looked at the Jason Light statement, and it did not say they've been working on it for days. I can't remember where I saw that.
Okay. Well, nix that then, guys. That was just Molly pulling stuff out of a hat.
Where? Okay. 3 years, $39 million, $23 million guaranteed.
Sweet. Love it.
Yeah.
So yes, Brady's back, but we still have a boatload of free agents. Now this podcast was going to be the free agent podcast, but we didn't do it because, the Brady surprise. Mm-hmm. So Molly never got a chance to really gather all the data.
I honestly forgot about it. Now that you say that, I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to do that.
Yeah, but we are going to run through some stuff and hit on things. Now, we did keep Ryan Jensen. We've lost Ali Marpet to retirement, and we've lost Alex Cappa.
Yeah.
He went.
We got some revised numbers for Alex Cappa's deal. Apparently, it's a $35 million base value. $20 million over the first 2 years. And he's got $1 million incentive to make the Pro Bowl each year, which he's never done anyway.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that.
So, and that's with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
Which we had heard that's who was eyeing Ryan Jensen. Of course, I mean, they're in desperate need of an offensive line, giving up 9 sacks in a playoff game that they miraculously won, but
Miraculously. That was
I don't know
that was incredible, man. I have never seen that before. How do you give up 9 sacks and still win?
I know. It's crazy.
That is incredible.
Good for them.
So, yes, they definitely could use some offensive line help. Now, Alex Cappa, if you watched my All-22s with him and listened to the podcast, he is definitely the weakest link on our offensive line. Now, Stinnie, we've re-signed him, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we've got him. He can go in. He can just plug and play right there.
Yeah.
Either side.
Which I love. Like, haven't they done a great job at our offensive line depth these past few years?
Yeah. Well, Josh Wells played great against the Rams in Tristan Wirf's place, which totally shocked me. I was really expecting him to get beat up. And
I know.
He did pretty good. He had a lot of help over there, but.
Right. Stinnie has a 1-year deal. So we're probably getting him for dirt cheap. I mean, what if he becomes a starter?
I imagine he will.
Yeah, probably. But this year we have him for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Next year might be a different thing. This is certainly going to be a prove-it deal for him.
We ain't worried about next year. We're building this. We're going all in for this 1 year, man.
We're going to mortgage the future.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I know. 100%. Me too. Yeah. Well, just to have that closure, like I felt like we were kind of robbed of a final season of Tom Brady because we didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah.
It just kind of came out of the blue. And, so I think this year as fans, we can be prepared for it, but also appreciate more what we're watching and the experience.
Yeah. Yes. And we're definitely going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
There was a tweet out every year since 2013. It's gone. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl. And then he lost in the playoffs. And then the next year he won a Super Bowl. And then he lost in the playoffs. It's every year for the past 9 years. So I'm like, we lost in the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. So what's that pattern?
Yes. So he wins in even number years since 2000. He wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Those are his years.
But we can't really complain too much about last year. I mean, we did play well. I had the highest record the Buccaneers have ever done, and made it to the NFC Championship. So can't complain too much.
Can't complain.
Or no, not the NFC. We didn't make it to the NFC Championship.
No, we made it to the divisional round. I was thinking about that. I was like,
wait a minute, did we do that? No. And we lost that game not because we got beat, but we made too many unforced errors on our part.
Yeah.
Way too many. I mean, good Lord. Like I said, I counted over 15 unforced errors on the part of the Buccaneers. I mean, if we would have just cut that in half, hell, if we would have just had 10, we would have dominated that game. Mm-hmm. But just so many, just too many
can't
mistakes.
Win like that.
Yeah, you can't win like that. And, I don't know how many players we're going to bring back, but I would imagine a lot of them are going to come back just because Brady's here. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd brought up yesterday in our video that, I'm not really worried, but it's a thought that, Brady's coming back so that he can be traded to the 49ers.
Don't put that out there.
Or anywhere, yeah. And when I said that to Molly when we were sitting on the couch after we found out about it, that he is unretired, she said, "Why are you like this?" No, what is it you said? Why are you the person you are?
Why are you the way that you are?
Yeah.
It's a line from The Office.
But I don't think that's true because I think if that were to be true, we're going to have a lot of pissed off players who are all coming back because they expected Brady to be here. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that that's anything that the front office is looking to do. And they said, no, they're not going to do it. I mean, Bruce Arians mockingly said, yeah, I'd do it for 5 number one, picks.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't want to, but I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be mad. It's not like we'd be giving him away.
I understand it.
Yeah. So we have some players now that we're really anxious to see what's going to happen with. Carlton Davis re-signed with us, which got kind of surprised me.
Me too. At a discount too. We got him for 3 years, $45 million.
That's a discount? Oof.
Yeah. Well, there was, I think, J.C. Jackson with San Diego, or the Chargers, not San Diego. And he, I think, got 19. And so, or I don't know if he got 19. Carlton Davis's market value per all the sites said 19 a year. So
dang,
we got him for 15.
Yeah, stats wise, I mean he's top dog, man.
Yeah.
He's up there.
Yeah.
So,
So
and I'm seeing that a lot of safeties are going for big money too.
oh,
And we've got Jordan Whitehead as a free agent.
but it's promising that he hasn't been snagged yet.
Yes, and he put up on Instagram, was it?
In his stories, there was some kind of graphic, and it didn't say breaking at the bottom, and it was him in the jersey.
It was. I think it was Carlton Davis.
Oh, was that Carlton Davis?
Well, I
that
mean,
wasn't
it was
Whitehead.
Whitehead. No, Whitehead posted it, but it was Carlton Davis in the picture,
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, that wasn't what I thought it was saying then.
which kind of gave you the feeling that Whitehead's looking to come back. That's how I felt. Anyhow.
Yeah.
But then again, I could just be reading into it. I'm sure he does want to come back, but
Yeah, wouldn't
I don't know
they?
if we're going to have the money to pay him what he can get elsewhere.
I know. That's what's hard too. And you get it with, like, when you watch Pat McAfee and you see anytime a guy gets paid, they're all excited for the guy. They never hate on like how much they're getting paid or whatever. Yeah. And I think it's a culture with the players. Like, they all respect their contracts, and players who want to get contracts. I mean, that's why they're all there. So we're Whitehead to go. I think it would suck for the fans, but I think the teammates are gonna be like, go get yours. And he could. I mean, and you got to figure these guys have earned it, especially in our secondary for the last 3 years, how much they've put in. They're all developing, and so they're in their prime right now. So it's not surprising that they're sought after.
Yes.
I hope we bring Whitehead back, though.
I did too. I did too. Well, again, I like all these guys. There's nobody I want to see leave. But there's some guys that I think are more crucial than others. Now, the next guys that I think are going to be a big concern for whether we resign is the Ndamukong Suh and William Golston. Those two guys are kind of crucial. I think Sue's kind of irreplaceable. Golston's a great guy. He's the longest tenured Buck we've got on the team, besides Levante David, right?
I think so.
I think they were both back in the Shiano days.
Yeah.
Toes on the line. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with those two. Now, Golston has been, since he's been here, he's been a rotational guy. He's never been a starter. So, somebody's going to want him. But then again, I've heard that this draft is quite deep on defensive line.
Oh.
So I don't know how that's going to all play out. But it wouldn't surprise me if somebody picked up Golston and gave him some big money.
You think so? See, I don't feel like, well, based on the draft being full of defensive linemen, I think that really narrows down his prospects. And then, he's never been a starter anywhere. I think that hurts him, especially based on his age.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I mean, he could be a starter. There's no doubt about that. It's just
right. But what team is going to take that chance? I don't know. I don't think there's many out there. I think, do you go for a 31-year-old defensive lineman, or do you go for the 23-year-old defensive lineman?
Yeah, it's a good point. Good point. We'll see, though. It's interesting, though. But those two are kind of concern me, because it will leave a gap in our defensive line. I mean, we've got Nacho. We've got that's about it.
I know. Yeah, Pat O'Connor, he's he's a free agent. And coming off injury, so who knows how that's gonna go. So I don't know. With Sue, I'm concerned about his health a little bit. He said that he tore his PCL. Did you hear that?
No.
Yeah. He played through a torn PCL all season. And he brought up how he's never missed a game to injury.
Yeah.
In his career.
Yeah, the only thing he's missed a game for was a suspension.
Yeah.
I think he got a 3-game suspension back in like 2009 or some crap like that. The guy is the literal definition of an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Never missed a game from injury.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like he's out there playing 30% of the snaps either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he clocks in 80% of snaps quite regularly. So, yeah, I'd like to see Sue come back. I really would. I mean, he played great in that Rams game. He was probably the best defensive player we had.
We kind of need him to come back, too, because he's got dead cap money this year.
Okay.
So it would make sense for us to re-sign him, restructure that money, try to make it more advantageous for our cap situation.
Mm-hmm. Jason Pierre-Paul, he's an unrestricted free agent as well. Don't know about him. You know, all last year he was banged up and hurt. He was just a guy, but I mean, his locker room presence is heavily felt. So
I think he can do a lot to mentor Tryon, too.
Yeah.
So that might be
and Cam Gill.
The reason to sign him. We will see. Gronk, that's the big question.
He's coming back. You know he's coming back.
He is. Yes.
It's like no doubt.
They were saying like the Bills are hot after him, and I think if Tom Brady weren't coming back, that would be a real possibility for him. But with Tom Brady coming back, I'm like,
yeah, it's not.
Y'all don't have a chance.
It would shock me. I mean, in sports, anything can happen, but it would definitely shock me if he went somewhere else or retired.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't make any sense. Leonard Fournette.
Well, apparently we are interested in Cordero Patterson.
Well, if we could get him.
Yeah, I know.
What is Atlanta giving him up?
I think so.
No way.
He must be a free agent. I don't know. It was just on there. I know. Yeah, I liked him. He's a lot bigger than what we normally go with, though.
Yeah, but he does all of it. He's the kind of back that Arians likes.
Yeah. Okay, so Chiefs, Bucs, Jets, and Dolphins showing interest in Cordero Patterson.
That would be interesting. You know, I'd like to see Fournette back, though.
Yeah, me too.
But if we could get Patterson, I don't know how might. Well, Fournette was a good run there, buddy, but don't know. I mean, Fournette really, really improved his game in some areas that he was lacking. I mean, really, really good. And, you know, like his blocking, his protection was just spot on last year.
And to me, he put in the work to earn that spot.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, he was doing everything right, man.
You notice how we haven't even talked about Rojo?
Nah.
Like, he's a free agent, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like his attitude. I think he has a bad attitude. That's my... I'm just kind of like, yeah, you had your chance, buddy. You lost your job.
O.J. Howard.
Gone.
Think so?
Done with it.
You're done with him?
I'm done. I was done 2 years ago.
Well, you know, and that's a big thing with Arians and tight ends. They got to block. And O.J. Howard doesn't block, man.
Again, I think he's got a bad attitude.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely does on special teams. You know, we had him on special teams a lot this year, and he just did not put forth the effort because it's, you know, it's got a little degrading. You know, you get drafted that high in the first round, and then you're going to come out there and have to play special teams in your 4th year in the league. Yeah. You know, you're behind Gronkowski and Cameron Brate.
Yeah. The past few years, I don't feel like he's been in it, and so I won't be surprised to see him go. Yeah. Which, you know, draft somebody. I'm cool with that. You got Gronk. Who the hell else you need?
Yeah,
like take a
Gronk
chance
or
on
Brate,
somebody.
man.
I know. I like Brady. I've always liked Brady over OJ.
Yeah. He's just one of those guys that I don't know if it's a practice thing or whatever, but he just doesn't get a lot of attention. But when he's in the game, you throw him the ball, man, he makes stuff happen. Mm-hmm. Especially in the red zone. He just somehow just is able to do it. You know? And he doesn't get enough. He hasn't, since he's been here, he hasn't gotten enough praise or enough.
No, and people always shit on him.
I know.
They shit on him a lot. And I'm like, y'all watching OJ? Because there's a lot to say there.
Yeah. Well,
but I think just because of where you're drafted,
yes.
I think that carries a lot of weight, especially with guys like OJ.
Plus, OJ looks like, just a monstrous tight end. Big, muscular. Yeah. Fast.
Yeah.
So.
And he was great with Jameis.
Cutter.
Yeah.
Cutter didn't have him blocking a lot, and it had a lot of schemes designed specifically for O.J. Howard, and he did. Yeah, he did well, but again, he got hurt a lot.
Mostly, it was the injury thing at first, and then that kind of became a habit, and then his attitude just wasn't great. So,
you think we're going to bring Blaine Gabbert back?
Why?
Do we need a backup?
We got Trask.
Think he's ready to be a backup?
Yeah. Okay. Why the hell not? I mean,
we've carried 3 quarterbacks ever since Bruce Arians has been here.
Yeah. I mean, we can bring
Ryan Griffin back.
Yeah, get him back on the practice squad.
Yeah. Then Ronald Jones, you think he's gone?
Gone.
Richard Sherman, yeah, definitely gone. Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw some Twitter chatter about him, and people thought maybe he would go somewhere for a little bit more money than he would. And he also didn't get a lot of carries with us this year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was hurt some. I mean, part of that was on him.
Yeah. Kevin Minter.
No.
You don't think he's coming back?
I don't think so, just because we got Stewart and KJ Britt. It's kind of what they are their guys.
Yeah,
I mean, Kevin Minter kind of is to an extent, but I mean, when you expend that much draft capital, I know they were later picks, but they did make 2 picks in that position. So I don't know. I just don't. He's kind of superfluous at this point, I think.
Yeah, but Bruce Arians does like him, and he's a veteran.
Yeah.
And I think that's and plus Levante David and Devin White really like him.
Oh yeah, the whole team does.
Yeah. Good locker room guy.
Yeah, wasn't that who
they both picked as?
Somebody else was talking about him. I want to see
Gronk
Mike Evans or something.
Yeah.
Brady, I don't know.
Anyhow, his name comes up a lot when people talk about
like the best
locker
teammates.
room presence. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, it'll depend. I mean, he's not going to get big money anywhere. So
no. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could probably sign him for $1 million, veterans minimum.
Steve Mcclendon. Think he's going to come back?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
I don't know. I have no idea, really.
I don't think so. I don't know. We could draft, right?
Yeah.
For what he does, draft a rotational guy.
Yeah.
Pay him nothing. I think that's
we did pay Mcclendon too much anyhow.
Yeah.
He was just a rotational guy too. And that's pretty much what he was. He was just a body.
Yeah. No, I don't
Did well, but
yeah.
Josh Wells.
That's a pickle.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of depth at tackle.
I know, and when you think about all the holes we got to fill on the interior, you're like, do we really want to have to think about the exterior?
I think with Josh Wells, it's going to 100% depend on whether he gets offers anywhere else. If he doesn't, we'll bring him back. You never know, man. There are people out there. We talk about this all the time. Think of all the dumb pickups teams have made.
I know, and Lovie Smith is back in the league. Like,
as a head coach.
as a head coach.
And Mitch Trubisky going to Pittsburgh. Oh my gosh, what are they thinking?
And their Super Bowl odds got worse. What? How does that happen?
That was like, who was it? Was it Chicago that started Mike Glennon? Paid him big money that year? We were like, what?
Yeah.
Have they ever seen him play? You know, I tell you, man, some of these guys just think they can turn a lump of clay into a statue.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Not going to happen.
That's funny.
So Josh Wells, I think it's all totally dependent on if he gets any other offers. If he doesn't, we'll bring him back for cheap.
Yeah, and I think you have to. I don't think that you can expend the time and resources to develop another depth guy like that.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of tackles out there.
No, there never, there never is. They're hard to find. Good offensive linemen are hard to find.
Very hard.
That's why I'm very impressed with what we've done with our offensive line in the depth. And so, losing both of our guards, our center being up for free agency, that's kind of a dire situation, and it didn't feel quite as bad to me because I knew that we had guys in the wing just kind of waiting, like Stinnie. We know what he is. Like, he can do the job. Right. And we've got guys that we've drafted that they like, Nick Leverett, Hainsey. And so you're like, okay, well, they've been thinking about this problem and had plan B, plan C if we needed it.
Yes.
So. Yeah,
I think they've done a great job with having the offensive line ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the past few years, I think they're, and they seem to focus on it too. And I like that. I can't stand teams. I can't stand them who just treat the lines, the trenches, both, defensive and offensive lines, like they're not that important. Kind of like how Cincinnati did.
And Lovie Smith.
I like the Dallas philosophy. You start with your offensive line.
Yeah.
You get a good offensive line, you can have a great quarterback and a great running back. No matter who you get back there, they're going to be able to do good. So
yeah, they'll make your quarterback look better.
And your running back.
Yeah.
Remember DeMarcus Murray, running back for the Dallas Cowboys. It was just killing it
before Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. Then he went to Tennessee, and
I did not.
Yeah, for like 2 years. I don't think he broke 1,000 yards. Yeah.
He got paid though, right?
Oh yeah, got big money. That's why he left.
Good for him. Yeah. Tony Pollard is kind of like that. I mean, he sits behind Ezekiel Elliott in fantasy. He kills it.
Yeah.
Like
anybody could. You could probably get 1,000 yards behind the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys because that's what they do. Jerry Jones, he don't make no bones about it. It's the offensive line first.
I'm just trying to think about how much money I would do that for.
How much?
I don't know, because I just need to think about how seriously I'm probably going to get injured.
Yeah, you'd probably get killed.
Like, is it worth not walking?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, you'd get the ball and run out of bounds immediately.
If I can make it over there, like, damn, that's a far. And I'm slow. Like, I'm asthmatic. It's not going to be pretty.
Look, see you out there running down the field with your inhaler.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Andrew Adams.
He's back.
I think so.
I think they'll bring him back.
Especially if Whitehead doesn't make it back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's good depth.
Yeah.
Consistent.
AAA.
Yeah. And of course, after last year, like, we needed it.
And about the only one, there's a couple other guys too. There's Curtis Riley, Pat O'Connor, Donnell Stanley, Le'Veon Bell. What?
He's going back to boxing, I'm sure.
Yeah. But Zach Triner, our long snapper.
Oh, got to bring him back.
Yeah. Right?
Yep. It's got to be a priority. Right after Jordan Whitehead, Zach Triner, right there.
Did you watch that Bill Belichick thing? Me and you watched it, right?
I did, yeah.
About long snappers? That was great, man.
I think it just illustrates more than the depth of long snapper history. It just illustrates Bill Belichick's football knowledge.
Yes.
He's like a football historian. Is there, I know Canton, the Hall of Fame, but is that like the football history museum? Because if they don't have one, that's what Bill Belichick should do when he retires.
Yeah, or write an almanac or something. Yeah.
Right.
Now, it's rumored that Belichick has a eidetic memory where he remembers everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of get that impression when he starts talking about that. We've done this in the podcast, but we talk about how reporters just ask the stupidest questions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I wanted to do last year, which we're going to do this year, is write down the questions we would ask after the game. So anyhow, Belichick, that's one of the reasons why he just is such a robot up there on the podium, is because they ask these dumb questions. But when you ask him a question that he's interested in answering, man, he gives you an answer. And he went on for, it was almost 20 minutes talking about long snappers. And it was fascinating. The evolution of the position and special teams and why there's, one spot reserved on the roster just for long snappers and why you don't have a backup long snapper and all this stuff. It was great, man.
Okay, I can't help myself. I'm just glazing over. And it's like, I'm trying really hard to not. It's too much. Like, your delivery is much more entertaining than Bill Belichick's, but I just had like a flashback.
Well, it was so entertaining that I watched it 3 times. And once with you, I was like, man, you got to watch this. So yeah, if you want to kill some time, find out the history of long snappers and all that good stuff.
You're having trouble sleeping.
Go watch Bill Belichick's answer at the press conference about long snappers. Great stuff though. And he does that every now and then. They'll ask him a question that he just drills into. And he gets for him it's excited, but
it's like deadpan. Like, his excitement is right there with his irritation. Like, it's same thing.
So that's pretty much what we've got for free agency. We got Alex Cappa gone.
Okay.
Jason Pierre-Paul. These are all the guys that we're waiting to see if they're going to re-sign or where they're going to go. We got Jason Pierre-Paul, Ndamukong Suh, Rob Gronkowski, William Golston, Leonard Fournette, O.J. Howard, Blaine Gabbert, Ronald Jones, Richard Sherman. I don't even really count him. Giovanni Bernard, Kevin Minter, Steve Mcclendon, Josh Wells, Andrew Adams, Curtis Riley, Pat O'Connor, Zach Triner, Jordan Whitehead, Donnell Stanley, and Le'Veon Bell.
Okay, that does not feel as dire as I thought it
Well,
was. Well, I think with Brady coming back,
yeah, you're like everybody else is expendable.
everything's fine. Yeah, we can just plug in whoever. There's some places where I'm like, hey, maybe a change would be good. Hey, maybe an upgrade wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah.
Because
right.
it didn't necessarily last season help us to get everyone back.
Yes, because I did feel like everybody expected to win and they didn't try as hard because they felt like they got all these guys here that are great and it's that psychological thing. I can't remember the name of it, but where you don't put forth all the effort when you're on a team, as you would individually. So I think these guys expected everybody else to play well if they didn't, and I think everybody kind of had that attitude a little bit. So it was just a step down a little bit. I mean, in the Super Bowl, we were incredible good. Going through the playoffs at that stretch from week 12 until the Super Bowl, we just got better and better every week, right? So it was like we apexed at the Super Bowl, which is, if you're going to do it, that's the time to do it. And then when we started the next season, I kind of expected us to pick right back up from there, or maybe knock off a little bit of rust, but we didn't. We came out, we struggled against the Dallas Cowboys, and we played good all year, but we didn't play as good as we did at the end of the 2021 season, 2020 season when we won the Super Bowl. So I think you're exactly right. I think that, it wasn't as good as it could have been by bringing everybody back. So it probably couldn't hurt to mix it up a little bit, get some new blood in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like last season we were just kind of complacent.
Yeah.
I think they took it for granted what it takes.
Yeah, and we
to
kept
get back
saying
there.
all year long, we kept saying, when are these guys going to step it up?
Mm-hmm.
And we were giving them the excuse of, well, maybe they're waiting till the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
and then they didn't. Sue did. Sue definitely stepped it up, but you didn't see a lot of that from anybody else
Yeah.
that we were expecting, especially from the defense. We really expected to see them start lighting it up like they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the free agency list, the problem with it is that most of those guys are starters.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got, oh my God. Okay. Our quarterback's back. We don't have any running back, right? Running back 1, running back 2.
Keyshawn Vaughn is all that we have. So yeah, no running.
Yeah, we don't have any running backs. We've got, okay, we franchised Godwin. So we're good at wide receiver 1 and 2.
Ish, but as we saw last year when Antonio Brown fucked us over, that talent drop off is steep after these two, and lose one of them, and it's now I wouldn't mind us drafting another receiver high.
Oh man,
2nd, 3rd round.
Yeah,
I'd be cool with that.
Amari Cooper, man, he went to. Oh, I wanted him so bad. I didn't even know Dallas was going to get rid of him. Or I'd have been on that train all day. I thought for sure they'd re-sign him. He's so good.
I know. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
It's just silly.
I don't know.
Now he's at the Browns.
Tight ends, we're kind of
Draft
don't know
again?
there. But again, if Gronkowski comes back,
Yeah.
we got break. That I'll be good with that.
Yeah, and then we got McElroy and Darren Fells. So they can fill in where needed.
Yeah, I want to see Fells, man. I want to see him out there doing some stuff. He's so big. He's huge.
Yeah.
Was he like 6'9" or something?
What?
Well, Gronkowski's 6'7", and he made Gronkowski look small.
Isn't that crazy? Well, and weren't all these guys on 1-year contracts last year?
Yeah.
Some of them on the practice squad. Back and forth.
Mm-hmm. He's 6'7", 270 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Which is the exact same thing Gronkowski is. He just looks bigger than Gronkowski. I think all Gronkowski's muscles are in his forearms. No, Gronkowski's 6'6", 265 pounds.
Oh, there you go. So he has an inch and
5 pounds. But these stats are so wrong all the damn time. So when I saw him side by side, I was like, who is that guy? He's huge. And it was Darren Fells. I was like, man.
6'7".
Yeah.
That's a giant.
Almost 300 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, that's, when DeMar Dotson 6'7", or he was 6'9"?
Now, Darren Fells, he's been in the league since 2014.
Wasn't he from the Jets?
No. Detroit, Houston, Cleveland.
Oh, Detroit.
Arizona.
I get those bottom feeders mixed up all the time.
So he was at Arizona in 2014, 2015, 2016.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. So he knows BA.
Yeah. That's why we got him, I guess.
Yeah.
I could have swore he was a younger guy. I had no idea. Why do we have a podcast and we don't even know this stuff?
I know. There's a lot of people to keep up with. How many players are in the league? Like 2,000?
Yeah, something like that.
It's too many.
It's too many to try to remember. That's for dang sure.
I know. I recognize his name, but I couldn't obviously couldn't remember where from. Are we getting ready to wrap up? I was just gonna say I just had some other noise. Other noise.
Just sit over there and make some noise, Mom.
I just want to say that Vita Vea got married.
Yay, Vita. Or Boo Vita. I don't know. One of the two. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend.
They all do. You don't get out of college, go into the NFL draft without a girlfriend.
I do think I saw a picture of her one time.
Yeah.
Alexis Ashley.
Yeah.
Alexis.
Yes. Correct.
That's, isn't that, what is it, the Amazon name? Alexa, yeah.
I don't want to say it loud.
I know.
She'll start talking.
Could you imagine having that name and then Alexa comes
I know,
out?
that would suck.
That would suck.
You can change yours. You would have to.
Oh, can you change the name
I
that
think
you
so.
call it?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
I don't know. You're the techie. I never wanted one of those things.
No, I know you didn't.
I know.
You fought me against that forever.
That's how the robots take over.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you've made me watch enough sci-fi movies. I know how this ends.
I saw a thing, this is off subject, but off topic. Artificial intelligence is able to tell your sex from looking at eyeballs, retinas. They have almost a 90% accuracy rate of telling your sex through your retina. Just like pictures of retinas, they can tell. And nobody knows why. Nobody knows how.
Burn it to the ground.
No.
Whatever that is.
People, they were actually kind of surprised. They were like, we had no idea that there was a difference in retina, between the sexes. And now they're trying to figure out what the difference is, but they have no idea what the computers figured it out before we did. That's scary.
Can we ask them what the difference is?
Maybe they'll let us when we.
A robot overlord.
Yeah, when they take over.
They're going to use it to enslave us.
Yeah, well, the thing of it is if they do it, it's going to happen really fast. I mean, they're going to algorithmically or exponentially expand their intelligence way past us real quick. And I think they would do it, take over, and we wouldn't even know.
Haven't they already enslaved us? I have this stupid thing on my lap right now. Why? Yeah. Why? It's my phone.
Those phones are addicting.
That's all they would have to do.
Yeah.
Install TikTok on every single phone.
Wouldn't that be something? That's how humanity goes down, by TikTok?
Yeah, well, beats a meteor, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. That's always my big worry. The meteor.
Like the dinosaurs. Hopefully it would be quick.
Yeah. That's what you always hope for with death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, this is... We do this with this podcast. We just go
turn.
negative all...
I know.
Why am I the way I am? Right? So Vita got married. And...
Yeah, we went from Vita got married to I hope the meteor hits right here so we die quickly.
Well, marriage, world destruction, kind of the same.
Yeah.
One leads to the other.
Yeah.
Somebody else got married too, Patrick Mahomes, right?
Oh, to that idiot.
Wait, which one's the idiot?
Her
and the brother, right? Isn't the brother?
Yeah, apparently. Supposedly. I don't know. I don't follow them enough. Pat McAfee told me they're dumb. That's all I know about anything is what Pat McAfee told me.
So, yeah, really. That's where we get all of our news from.
Our football news, anyway.
Somebody else on the team got married. Ryan Griffin, he got married.
Yeah. And I thought it was Bradley Pinion. Didn't Justin Watson, I saw him on my Instagram. He's not on the team anymore.
Ryan Griffin isn't either, right?
I don't know. See, Ralph, you didn't even have to bring it up. No one would have known. I don't know. I can't find it.
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
He spent just about the whole year on the practice squad, right?
Who? Justin Watson?
Ryan Griffin.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not listed on as a free agent or as active.
Oh. I wonder if he retired.
Retired after throwing seven NFL passes.
Yeah, but like, how much money did he make? Like, how much did those passes cost? Like each one.
$1 million a pass at least.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ugh.
Like, that's a pretty good haul.
Wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah.
But then again, you would if you're a competitive type. You never get to go play.
Mm-hmm.
But a good consolation prize.
Yeah.
Big stack of
well,
millions.
Just being able to say you made it to the NFL. Like, how many people can say that?
Right. Like Bruce Arians' son.
Mm-hmm.
He was a kicker, punter, right? Which one was he? Punter or kicker? And he got signed to the Jets. And he never made the team.
Buffalo.
Was it Buffalo? And he never made the team, right? He got cut right after training camp. And he said he was very happy with it because his goal was to make it to the NFL.
Yeah.
So, 2001. And you were right, Buffalo. Yeah. No, he did make it on the team. He played in 10 games. He didn't start in any of them.
Oh.
He was a kicker. How do you do that? I mean, he made kicks. He made 17 extra points. 16 extra points out of 17. Had 2 kickoffs. And 12 field goals out of 21. He had a 57.1% field goal ratio.
Yeah, but that's a hard place to kick in.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that. We love you, Jake.
Yeah.
But, that was his thing. He was like, I just wanted to make it to the NFL. And so he was happy. Mm-hmm. And Ryan Griffin's probably the same way.
Yeah. It's an accomplishment. I've known of people who made it onto like the Bears like 40 years ago. They probably were there for like one day, but they'll still talk about it the rest of their lives.
Yes, right.
Yes.
I must be spelling his name wrong. Ryan Griffin.
Ryan?
How do you spell Griffin?
Griffin.
I-N. Okay. There it is.
There he is.
Nope.
He's not on our roster?
I'm not seeing him anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Okay, here he is. This doesn't make any sense. They've only got him listed for Tampa Bay in 2019.
Probably because he was on the practice squad,
Yeah.
not the active roster.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Or it's just how much it's the only time he threw any passes in a game was in 2019.
Yeah. Probably. Interesting. Oh, the Deshaun Watson contest is heating up, and apparently he's visiting the Panthers and the Saints, which can I just say I'm so happy Tom Brady came back and rescued us from Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So let the Saints or the Panthers have him.
Yeah, we'll see because, there's a big possibility he ain't going to play. Now, his criminal charges were dropped. And this was amazing because it went to a grand jury, right? Now, you can indict a hand sandwich with a grand jury. I mean, really, a grand jury is just, it's.
Well, the prosecution submits their evidence and there's no defense.
Right, there's no defense. I mean, it's almost impossible to have a grand jury
very
drop.
one-sided.
Yes. And they dropped it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that to me says there is nothing there. I mean, if there's anything, a grand jury will say, yes, go ahead and proceed with indictment. Mm-hmm. And they dropped it through grand jury. I mean, that is extremely rare. So there's a good possibility there's nothing there, and he's still got the civil suits going on. Mm-hmm. The NFL could suspend him, depending, but, with the grand jury coming back with, no indictment, I mean, that's got to tell the NFL, hey, we can't suspend this guy. If a jury of his peers basically have said there's nothing there, he didn't do anything wrong, then, we can't suspend him. But the NFL's dumb like that. I don't know. But anyhow, if the Saints and the Panthers, they sent their big dogs out to meet with him. I think Rule went. It wasn't like they sent, the scouts or whatever, or assistants. The big guys went. There's a serious competition going on there. They're desperate. Both of those teams are desperate for a quarterback.
Well, the Panthers wanted him last year.
Right.
But Houston wouldn't let go.
Right. Yeah, Houston didn't know at the beginning of last year what they were going to do with him.
Yeah.
I think they really wanted to keep him, but he really didn't want to play.
Right.
For Houston. He's still pissy about DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I'd be mad too. That'd be like if they got rid of Mike Evans. Tom Brady'd be like, "What? What are you doing?" If they just basically gave him away.
Like Jameis with Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And Jameis is left.
Right. If it would have just been Jameis with nobody else to throw to.
I know.
That would have been a disaster. Huh?
I know.
More so than it was.
Yeah. So, and then other teams, the Colts asked Houston for permission to talk to him, and they said no. Houston said no.
That's smart.
Yeah. I mean, they're in the same division. Why the hell would you send them to the same division?
Right.
It's crazy.
No way to piss your fan base off worse and do that. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes to our division or not, and if he ends up not getting suspended or not. Either way, they're going to have to pick up his cap, which is like $30 million.
Dumb contract.
It's incredible.
Who agreed to pay him? Oh, that was Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Wow, they've had some real knuckleheads in Houston. Wow.
Well,
they make some bad decisions.
They sure do. Guys, I know a lot of y'all guys like Lovie Smith, but he was a disaster. And
you can't argue that. No. He went 2-14 with us.
He got his Jameis Winston.
Like worse than Schiano.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, it was some of the worst coaching I've.
Oh my God.
And they talked about Schiano, how he didn't treat his players like grown-ups, right? That's what you heard about that. He was treating them like college guys and everything. But Lovie Smith was actually worse. Lovie Smith, they were going out to play. Chicago, too. They were going to Chicago, and they were getting ready to go out, and the team was all pumped up, and somebody started cussing. And Lovie Smith stopped them, like before they were going out, and lectured them. And people reported afterwards from the team anonymously that it just killed their whole desire to go play, because it was like they were getting lectured to like they were children. You're not allowed to cuss. But you didn't hear the narrative that Lovie treats his players like children, because that's treating your players like children. You're not allowed to cuss. Don't you cuss?
Policing their speech.
Policing their speech.
Stop it.
Hey, he was one of the originals. Huh? Beach policers. Yeah, $35 million is what whoever picks up Deshaun Watson's contract is going to have to pay this year.
Why?
It's a $40 million cap hit. Good Lord. Yeah, so they'll have to pay.
Houston's not going to pay any of it?
Well, I think Houston would have to pay $5.4 million.
Okay.
But the base salary is $35 million. So, there you're getting out of paying $35 million.
Damn.
Oh, man, yeah. Houston might say, whoever they trade, they're going to be like, hey, you got to take the $5.4 million too. Or pay us $5.4 million.
And they want draft picks. They want like high draft picks.
Yeah. So we'll see. Interesting stuff, but I don't care because we got Tom Brady back now. I know.
And I welcome him in the South.
I know you do.
Because we've seen this shit before, guys.
Yeah.
He might not throw the interceptions, but he's still got the happy feet. He's still trying to be a hero.
Every play.
What
Pat McAfee call them? Goofs?
The goofs.
I'm tired of the goofs.
Yep. They asked him, because Indianapolis, Pat McAfee is a Colts fan. He played for the Colts for a number of years. And the Colts now have no quarterback. And so somebody asked him.
Because they got rid of Carson Wentz.
Yeah. AJ Hawk asked him, would you take Jameis? And he was like, no. And he said, I'm done with the goofs.
Yes.
And I just thought it was so.
Molly loved that. He was
Yes.
like, that is spot
Yes.
on. These guys are good.
Spot
It's like
on.
Garoppolo, the last play where he getting tackled in the end zone and he just throws the ball behind his back, basically. It got intercepted for a pick 6. It's just goofs. That's just, these guys just make goofy plays.
You can't win like that.
No, not consistently, that's for sure. All right, you got everything covered?
I do.
All right, guys. Great news, great day. Got hope ahead of us. Future of another Super Bowl ring. And, our division is looking extremely weak.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we're going to have any problems with that. I don't think the Saints curse is going to survive this year for us. I think we're just going to plow over top of them. I want to see the Rams again. I want to beat them up. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. This next week, a couple weeks, see if we can get who we can get. And then the draft is going to be interesting too. I mean, we're picking low, but we might trade, get some stuff.
Yeah, and I, it's not enough for me to like pay attention or care in advance of the draft, but I do enjoy Jason Light's player evaluation. I just think he's really turned into a phenomenal. And our whole scouting department, I think that they're doing a really great job with player evaluations and getting guys who don't just fit the scheme, but they can come in and make an impact with their personality in the locker room. So I do enjoy kind of the new blood and see what we get.
Yeah. So shiny new toys. Fun stuff, man. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of stuff to look forward to. Excited, which is such a huge difference than it was just a week ago.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're just like,
so
nothing's
much better.
happening. We're all like, blah, sucks.
I know.
And now look at us. We're like, let's do a podcast every day.
I know.
Glued to our phones.
Hey, we play the Rams this year.
Yeah. Sweet.
We do play the Rams this year. Let's
we got a tough
bring in
schedule,
and
man.
Finish them.
Did we play the Bills this year again?
Hold on.
I know we played the Bengals.
No, we play the AFC
North, right?
Yeah.
So Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and
Yes.
who am I missing there?
Brown. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that'll be fun. And we're playing the Ravens at home. Okay. Ravens are at home. Bengals are at home. And then Browns and Steelers are away.
We don't know who we're playing in Munich yet, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, let's wrap this up, man. We've gone over.
Okay.
Guys, Brady's back. That's it. That's all we got to say.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a fun off season.
I'm thinking we'll probably end up doing another podcast by the time the week's over.
Yeah, because there's going to be so much news.
Yeah.
Free agency and stuff.
So it's just going to depend on how dense the week is with Bucs news when we'll be back. So.
Yep. If nothing else, we'll be back next Monday. And then, of course, as the season, probably right around training camp, we start going to our 2-3 times a week podcast.
Yeah.
But until next time.
Go Bucs.